Alright, hello once again and welcome back. This is Jeff Scott of Ranken Technical College, and I've been going over MIT's App Inventor 2 as part of the Ranken Technical College Summer Adventure Academy. And we're about to go in and start up a new project. Before I do, I want to do a couple things. I want to type in here Ranken Technical College, and I'm going to put in here Facebook. Alright, and there's the Ranken Technical College Facebook page. You'll see why I'm doing this hopefully in just a couple minutes. Okay, so there's the Facebook page. Let's look at the Ranken Technical College Twitter page. And then finally, let's look at the Ranken Technical College Google Plus page. And there that is. Okay, so I now have the 3 URLs for 3 different Ranken pages. Why am I doing that? I'm going to show you that right now. So let's go in and let's start up a new project. So projects, start a new project. We're going to call this one Ranken Plus. Okay. Alright. First thing we want to add here is a label, and that's going to end up stretching all the way across. No, I don't want to add the label yet. Let's not add the label first. First, let's come in here and let's add our horizontal arrangement. So let's put that in. And inside of there, as we've done before, let's add 3 buttons. Alright, so under our 3 buttons, now we want to add in, let's see, let's put in a label here. Heck, let's put in 2 labels, and another label here, and another button. And then we're going to add a new component in here, which is called a web viewer. We're going to put that right here. Alright, so let's paint our interface first. So we're going to come in here. We're going to call this button Facebook. Alright, we're going to put the text on it, Facebook. Let's bold it. Alright, and we'll make it again about, kind of like the way that this is looking. So the width, we'll make it about 30%, 309%. Alright, so there's the Facebook. Our second button, which we'll also bold, we'll put here Twitter. And we'll again take our width and set that to 30%. Okay, and the third one, we will again bold. We will again make the width 30%, and we will set the text to Google Plus. Alright. Well, I guess I don't like the way that we've got some extra area in there. So let's go to our horizontal arrangement, and let's set the width of that to fill the parent. There we go. Alright. Could this look better? I'm sure it could. Could we make it more than 30%? How about if we make each one of them about 32? Maybe that'll look a little nicer. That one I don't think I ever set. There we go. Alright, that doesn't look too bad. Guess I would rather have it. I'm a little anal about this stuff. I'm going to send it back to 30% again, each one of these. There, I like the way that looks. Alright, this will say here, right there, and I'm going to have to change that one, but that's fine. I want this to say, enter a URL below. Alright, right, I'm going to make that a little wider, so let's make it 22. Yeah, like that. We're going to bold that. We are going to take the width of that and have it fill the parent, and we are going to center that. And we're going to change this to or enter a URL below. There we go. I like that. This right here, I want to change that. I'm going to remove that. So I want that to actually be a text box. So let me drag that and put it there. There we go. And again, I'll want this. The hint will say, enter your own URL here. All right. I want this to the width to be fill parent. All right. And it's coming together. This button right here will say, we'll just call it submit. So we won't put anything there. So we'll say the width. Probably it'll look bad like that, but we'll set it up like this anyway. We'll bold it, and we'll just say submit. And it's already center aligned. Okay, it's coming together. So let's change the name of this. We've got button Facebook. We'll make this one button Twitter. We'll make this one button Google Plus. We'll make this just label. I don't really even need to rename that, but label enter other URL. Okay. And we'll call the text box enter other URL. And this button right here we'll just call button submit other URL. That's kind of a long name, but that's fine. All right. I don't really see the need to change the name of our web viewer. Okay. So looking at what we have right now, let's come in and connect. Let's reset our connection, connect, and let's bring up the emulator. It's not at all, it won't run right now, but I want to look and see what it looks like aesthetically. So the idea is once we get this up and running, if we click the Facebook button, in here will come up Ranken's Facebook page. If we click the Twitter button, in here should come up the Ranken Twitter page. If we click the Google Plus button, in here should come up the Ranken Google Plus page, or we can enter our own URL, click submit, and it'll come up in there. Now, if we enter an invalid URL, we're probably just going to get some kind of an error message. I'm not going to worry about handling that right now. And once again, there's not really, once we get going here, there's not really a whole heck of a lot of code that we're going to have to add here. One thing about this is since the web viewer is going to go out to the internet, we need the HTTP colon or the HTTPS colon. We need to basically tell it it's a hypertext transfer protocol or hypertext transfer protocol secure socket layer web address. All right, hopefully this is going to come up very shortly. That usually is not a good sign. getting an error in here. Okay, so what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to connect, do a reset connection again, connect emulator, and see if we can bring it up. While that's happening, will it let me go into the blocks editor? No, it does not. So what I have to do is I have to associate, say when I click this, then I have to associate the URL that's going to appear in here with Ranken's Facebook. And the same thing with Twitter, and the same thing with Google+. All right. Now when we get to the next project, the next one, we'll go into this guessing game. Then we'll add logic. We'll add some if statements in there so you can see exactly what happens with what. All right. I also should tell you too that depending on our time and how much time we have, and even if we don't have a chance to go through it, I'm going to give it to you anyway, we will have possibly an extra 9th project here where we'll create a game. And we'll call this Pong Game App. All right, we'll talk about that, but not right now. So let's hope that this resets and everything is cool. Again, none of the buttons will be functional. In other words, nothing will happen when I click on any of the buttons. That's not what's really important in here right now. If for some reason this doesn't come up, if I get an error message again, I'll have to break this up into 2 different lectures, which I do not want to do. But I can do that, but I'll still add all the code first. I'm confident that this is going to come up. Looks like it's going through its regular process here. As said, sometimes this can be the most frustrating part of working with Android App Inventor 2. I will talk about this in class, but you can also hook this up to your phone where it tends to work a lot nicer if you do that. So I don't like that we're getting that, but we'll see. Sometimes it'll override that and it'll still come up. So it says it's not responding, again, which I don't like, but we'll see. Sometimes it'll just loop like that too, and it'll expect you to do something. Yeah, it says it's unable to connect. I'll tell it to keep trying. In fact, let's cancel. Let's put in the code. Okay? So let's go over into our blocks editor. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with our Facebook button. And we're saying when we click that, what we want to have happen is in our web viewer, we want to go to a URL. What URL do we want to go to? Well, we come in here with text, we put it in like this, and that's what we put in there. Okay? Now, let's duplicate, and this one will change to Twitter. I think we had second, which means that we'll have to change and put in that Twitter address. And we will duplicate it one more time. And we will change this from Twitter to Google+. And we will put in our Google+ address in there. Sorry, again, when this comes up, this is just the production I've done of the previous video that we went over. All right, so that's all set up. So the only one that's left is our submit other URL. All right, so when that happens, we want to go to URL, and there it's not going to be that. What we're going to have to do is we're going to have to tell it to get our label, and we're going to have to get that text. All right. The good news is we're done with all our code. All right. The bad news is, even though we're done with all our code, I can't get the emulator to come up right now. So what we've done, very simply, is we've come in here and we said when we click the Facebook button, we want to go to Ranken's Facebook page. When we click the Twitter button, we want to go to Ranken's Twitter page. When we click the Google Plus button, we want to go to the Google Plus page. And when we click the Submit Other URL button, we want to go to that one. All right? So I've got a feeling, yeah, we still have the error here. So let's force a close here. All right, I'm going to literally close the emulator and I'm going to start it back up again. So I'm going to close this, go into AI Starter, let it start back up again. All right, come back in here into our designer window and do a connect. Let's reset the connection one more time. Connect emulator. Now if I still get an error, then I will have to stop taping, and this will have to become a two-part lecture to make sure that indeed it works. I've got all my code in, all right, but what I want to do is I want to make sure that each one of these projects works. Well, that's never a good sign. Okay. All right, it's just giving me that error, so I'm going to stop lecturing right here and bring this up, and this will have to be, unfortunately, a two-part lecture.